It has been a weird few weeks of weather. In North America, Canadians and Floridians alike shivered through freezing temperatures, bomb cyclones and a polar vortex. It got so cold that iguanas froze and fell out of trees. Meanwhile, over in Australia, where it is summer now, it has been especially hot. Sweltering, really. In Sydney, temperatures hit 117 degrees Fahrenheit on Sunday, the hottest it has been since 1939. That oppressive heat, a side effect of climate change, has made life hard for the country's humans and infrastructure. Heat waves result in 10% more calls for ambulances and 10% more deaths, local experts said. Police in Victoria, on Australia's southeastern coast, warned drivers last week that a 6-mile stretch of a freeway in the central part of the state had melted. A spokeswoman for Vic Roads, which manages Victoria's road systems, told the Australian Broadcasting Corp that hot weather caused the asphalt to become soft and sticky and the road surface to bleed. It has also been nearly unbearable for some animals. Anytime we have any type of heat event, we know we're going to have a lot of animals in need, animal specialist Christy Harris told the BBC. It was so hot that possums burned their paws on roofs and roads. Birds needed to be specially dehydrated. Koalas around the region were being sprayed down to keep them cool. And hundreds of flying fox bats died because they didn't have enough cover to protect themselves from the heat. Animal rescuers in Sydney described heartbreaking scenes of dozens of dead baby bats piled on the ground. As the adult bats sought shade near a creek, babies were left dangling from trees with no means to survive the heat, according to a charity organisation in the Sydney suburb of Campbelltown, home to colonies of flying foxes. Many were found scattered on the ground. Others died before they made it down. It was unbelievable. I saw a lot of dead bats on the ground and others were close to the ground and dying, volunteer Kate Ryan told The Guardian. I have never seen anything like it before. Flying foxes have adapted to Australia's warm climate, but these fruit-eating bats are unable to regulate their body temperature when the outside temperature rises above 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The young ones are especially vulnerable, Ryan told the Camden Narellan Advertiser. They have less heat tolerance, she said. Their brain just fries and they become incoherent. Often, she said, they will simply get too hot and fall to the ground while the adults seek out precious shade. Wildlife volunteers and rescuers spent Sunday picking up bodies of about 200 flying foxes, most of which were babies, according to the charity Help Save the Wildlife and Bushlands in Campbelltown. The death toll was expected to rise to the thousands, as many were still dangling from trees and were unreachable to volunteers. Many pups were on their last breaths before getting much needed help. There were tears shed and hearts sunken, the charity said Sunday in a lengthy Facebook post. It's devastating when a colony like our local one goes down like this due to heat. This colony needs more canopy cover and shaded areas to help with our ever-rising hot summers because this episode will surely not be the last.